Golly, that's good.
I cracked myself up. I still haven't found my first Blanton's.
That's different. I really like that. They're like together, like peas and carrots.
That's funny. Sometimes accidents are good things. Peychauds or Peychauds or Peychaud. This is not what I expected. Changes. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing the whole thing. You'll thank me later. Larry's watching. Hey, Larry, how are you? I'm glad you're here on a fine Thursday evening. It's time for the Bourbcast. Let's rock and roll. So last week, I said I wasn't 100% sure. I thought I might do the Evan Williams single barrel. Turns out, I did the Evan Williams single barrel about a year ago. Maybe a little more. I'd have to go back and look again. I think it might actually have been pre-episode 100. So it may be a little while back that I did the Evan Williams. I'm getting texts. People that should know better. Anyhow, so we're not doing this one. Instead, we're going to do this one. I've had this one for a while. It's the Bradshaw. I don't know a lot about this. I know when it first came out, people were talking about it pretty heavy duty. They were excited about something new on the market. I don't think that excitement translated into ongoing excitement because the reviews started coming out and people were like, okay. And then the snobbery happened, right? Hey, Luke is watching. Hey, Luke, how are you, man? Welcome to the Bourbcast. The snobbery happened. So it was like, well, I don't know. I don't like who makes this. Is it MGP? Is it if it's not Buffalo Trace or it's not Old Forester, it's not something out of Heaven Hill, then heaven forbid, right? See what I did there? That was pretty clever right there, what I just did. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Bradshaw, where it comes from, and why people are kind of snooty about it. I haven't even tried it yet, and we're going to give it a shot. I have mixed feelings about this one, whether I think it's going to be good or not. Bradshaw Bourbon website doesn't say a whole lot about this thing. You go on there and it basically shows pictures and it shows a couple of videos of Fred Minnick tasting it, and it's really about it. It doesn't do much else. I had to do some digging. Turns out it's a celebrity collaboration with a company that does celebrity collaborations. They're called Silver Screen Bottling Company. They have celebrity bottles in the Star Trek collection, and I have some. Look. The James T. Kirk Straight Bourbon Whiskey, aged 12 years. I have not opened this for two reasons. Number one, I own James T. Kirk Bourbon. This is so cool. As a Trekkie, this is cool. But I'm also afraid it's going to be really, really bad. And I don't want it to be really bad. It's James T. Kirk. So they have this one, and they also have another one in the Star Trek world. Hey, Kevin. How are you, Kevin? The 10 Forward. This is vodka. 10 Forward vodka. We have no idea who makes this stuff. I'm not expecting anything out of it, but I haven't opened this one either. You know, I've always been kind of a Star Trek geek, and there's another one that I want. It's Montgomery Scotch, and I haven't been able to find that one. I saw it one time, and it was really expensive, so I didn't buy it. So anyway, they collaborate that kind of stuff. They've got another one that they put out for the country singer Alan Jackson. It's called Silver Belly Whiskey. But this is a collaboration with this what do they call themselves? They call them Silver Screen Bottling Company. They've come together. They've created the Bradshaw Bourbon Company, and it's a collaboration with Terry Bradshaw, the infamous Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback that led them to 4 Super Bowl victories over his 14 years in the Steelers. So now. Hey, Ellen, how are you? Going where no bourbon drinker has gone before. And Grace is on. Hey, I'm glad you're both here. Thank you for watching. This is very cool. Yeah, where no bourbon drinker has gone before. Well, where I haven't gone before. I have not opened this Bradshaw. I have no idea what to expect. Celebrity brand, but it is made by Green River. And you know, we have tried Green River on the show. We've tried the Green River regular bourbon. We've tried their wheated, and I do like them both. I like the regular a little bit better than the wheated. But But that's who they're using for their distiller. Some more information about this. It's got a weird price. It's a weird bottle. It's got a weird price in the state of Ohio. $37.22. That's just odd. It's 103.8 proof, and this is where we get into some of the Steelers lore. That's 51.9% ABV, alcohol by volume, but it also happens to be the successful percentage of Terry Bradshaw's career passing completions. So he was able to complete successfully 51.9% of his passing as quarterback of the Steelers. So that's where that comes from. The mash bill is 70% corn, 21% rye. That's a little on the high side. 9% malted barley, and get this. Now this is the part that the other part that gives me pause. Not only are they the same people that put out the Star Trek stuff, you know, James T. No, that's not it. I'm blind. I took off my glasses. Now I can't see. The James T. Kirk and the 10 Ford, but this is only aged 2 years. On the high rye side of things, at 21%, 21% rye, that might be good because rye tends to mature faster than corn. But 2 years in the barrel, I don't know. We're going to find out. We can sit here and speculate all night long, but until we actually get into it, we're not going to know. I did not read anybody else's reviews. Let's leave it off. We're just going to let it air out while it's sitting there, because I wanted to be able to know, to get into this and give it my own review. You know me, I try to be fair. I try to be nice. If I can be nice, then great. You know, then I can say, go try this bottle. But if it's bad, I'm going to tell you that it's bad. Justin's with us. Hey, Justin. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's get into this. The Bradshaw Bourbon. Again, this is up there. It's 103.8 proof. I haven't been drinking the high proof stuff lately. I've been drinking kind of in the 90s. I actually pulled out a Michter's Rye the other day. I forgot how good that is. Nummy. A little different. It's a little different taste to it. But it's not that super. You know, this isn't a review for that. It's not a review. We're going to do this one. Stay focused, ADD boy. Right here. Right here. My eyes are right here. I've heard that a lot. My eyes are up here. Never mind. Okay. All right. Okay, I got some nice orange peel on that. It's got a little bit of an astringency. I'm not going to tell you that it doesn't. That 2 year, that's not very long. You know, we've been drinking things that are 6, 7, 8, 9 years in the barrel, and we're going down to 2 for this one. So I don't have a lot of hopes. Hey, Tom's with us. Hey, Tom. Glad you're with us. Bradshaw, you'll like this one. You're a football guy, Tom. You'll like this one. Bradshaw whiskey, Bradshaw bourbon. And since you're a football geek, you'll appreciate a tidbit that you missed. This is 51.9% alcohol by volume, which is Terry Bradshaw's pass completion percentage when he was with the Steelers, 51.9%. So there you go, little geekdom for the football fans out there. And I don't even know if I'm saying all this stuff right. I'll be honest, I'm not a football guy. I'm not a sports guy. I'm into music, and I'm into art, and I'm into, well, bourbon. I'm into bourbon. Okay. Really sweet on the nose. The vanilla notes are popping through. There's also a what is that? It's like a very, very sweet honey. Not like clover honey, but a very, very sweet honey. Almost like a syrupy type of honey on the nose. Just odd. Interesting. That orange is coming through. It's candy-ish. There's a candy type of overtone to it. A little bit of caramel. Caramel, if you have a degree. Very, very sweet. Does the bottle have laces so you know where to put your fingers? You're going to be one of those watchers, are you? Are you, Ellen? Is that how we're playing this? I tell you what, this, if I don't like it, this would not be the first bottle that I threw across the backyard. Go back and watch beginning whiskeys, whiskeys for beginners or something like that. It was like in the first 100 shows. Southern Comfort was vile. Gah. I have PTSD over Southern Comfort. That was nasty. And it found its way across the yard. So I can throw this. This is bigger. It's heavier, but I can throw this. All right, let's try it. Whew. Okay. Wow. So, Ellen and Grace are new to the Bourbcast. You might be wondering why I held that on my palate for 10 to 12 seconds. I want to prime my palate. This is 103.8 proof. This is hot compared to a lot of other things that people will drink. This isn't as hot as I've had, but this is a warm one, and it drinks warm. It drinks warmer than 103. 103? 103. Yeah, this drinks warmer. So I put it on my palate and I let it sit there so that my palate can become used to it. So that the next time I taste it, the burn, that what I call a bloom, and I'll explain that briefly. That bloom that starts in the center of your tongue and kind of grows on its way out. I want that to be settled. I want my mouth to be ready for the next sip so I can actually start to taste it and not think about the ethanol and the burn and all that stuff. So that's why you do that. Sometimes it takes more than once. You'll also notice that I tend to take rather large sips. I don't have that gene that says you can sip just a little bit and get the flavor out of it. No, that's not me. Yes, indeedy. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's not bad. To be honest with you, I was expecting the worst. A 2-year? That is not bad at all. Ellen says, how come you're not using the wider official glass? Ah, that's a good question. The official Bourbon Trail glass has been adopted by the Bourbon Trail. It's a great glass. It does have a bit of a smaller snoot on it. That's so you can help get those aromas up and into your nose, but the Glencairn glass is traditionally more of a Scotch glass. You can tell the snoot at the top is a lot smaller, which is going to concentrate the aromas from the whiskey that much more and allow me to get more of the essence of the nose, not only while I'm nosing it, but also while I'm sipping on it, because your mouth is so close to your nose and the two are so intertwined when it comes to tasting and flavor that this will allow that to stay concentrated in my nose as I'm drinking it. That's why I like to use the Glencairns. That's why a lot of people use the Glencairns when they're tasting, so they can have that experience, the nose and the palate come together as one. Okay. That's why. I have done some Bourbcast with the official bourbon tasting glass from the Bourbon Trail. You just can't get the same concentration of nose. And with some of these with a weaker nose, I mean, even with this glass, I feel like I'm shoving my schnoz all the way down in the glass, and I can do it. You can see this thing, but I'm just saying, you don't want to be able to do that. You want to be able to get it up here, and the concentration of the aromas helps with that. Okay. So, as the nose was sweet, so is the palate on this. I wanted to beat it up. It's a 2-year. It's a celebrity brand. I wanted to be able to beat it up, but I'm going to tell you, this is not that bad. Not at all. I wasn't expecting much, and I'm not going to tell you that I love it, but it's not bad. Let me see if I can give you some notes here. Okay. Some of those sweet caramel notes, a little butterscotch. Definitely on the sweeter side of things for sure. If you like a more rye-heavy whiskey, this 2 years probably did that a favor. It's 21% rye, and it does not present like a high rye. It's much more smooth than that, much more sweet than that. And I'd like to say that the 9% of the malted barley may help with that a little bit, but 2 years isn't enough time for malted barley either. It is, when you bring them all together, I mean, you're going to get, I've had some 2 years that weren't too bad. This one is not too bad. See, too bad. No, I wasn't even trying for that one. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. So, on the finish, still that sweetness. There's nothing that is, like last week we did the Twin Oak. No, it was 2 weeks ago, the one that I tasted that I didn't like the finish on. And I'll be honest, I don't remember what it was. I didn't like the finish on it at all. But everything else was fine. This one, I like the finish on it. It stays sweet. I still have the little bit of that orange citrus there, a little of that honey, sweet honey, that sweet caramel. Let me hit it again. Strangely, I'm not getting a lot of cinnamon off of this one. I do get some rye spice, but it isn't mature. It's there, but that just could be the heat of the bourbon as well. Yeah, I could drink this. This is really, really not bad. I would buy this again. I'm not going to tell you that I would rush out to buy it, and I'm not sure how available it is right now. But I've had worse. This one was worse. This one was even worser. But this Bradshaw is really not bad. Not at all. Okay, so let's go to the next step. We're gonna put a little water on it, see what happens when you open it up. Okay. Looks like their website was trademarked in 2020. Do you think that moving forward they will do longer barrel time? I don't know. It's a good question. I think that they exist to sell what they have the way they have it. This may not even last. If the sales aren't through the roof, like right now, my local store is not even available. So in the town that I live in, you will not find this bottle right now. I haven't done a search for the whole state to see where it is, but this could be a flash in the pan. I don't know what the sales were. If the sales stick around and it stays in the state, it stays in the state. Great. And, you know, is it worthy of it? Yeah, it's pretty decent. It's no worse than some of the other ones I had. But will it stick around? I don't know. I'd like to think that but they didn't. Again, they haven't put much effort into it. Their website says nothing. The website at the Alan Jackson whiskey called Silver Belly, that one at least has some information on it. This got squat. We know it's made by Green River. We know it's 2 years. We know the proof. We know the mash bill, which is more than a lot of people tell us. But other than that, okay, that'll be about right. I just don't think they're putting much effort into it. And part of that may have to be with Terry Bradshaw. He's a busy man, and he may not want to put much effort into it. There's a picture on the website of him. I think he's wearing a mask. I don't know. I didn't really look at it real close, but and that would be 2020. But I don't even know how much time and effort he's giving it, or if he's out pumping the brand, or I don't know what he's doing. So I have no idea. What I found is what I found, and I didn't find a lot. All right, a little water on her. Let's try her out. It got even better. Opened it up very nicely. Really great flavors. Again, right in that palate, right in that the vanillas and the butterscotches and the A little orange citrus in there, just a little. There's still something I'm having trouble identifying, and I want to call it sweet honey, and that's probably about as close as I'm going to get. It reminds me of honey, but it's not honey. And it's not sorghum, and it's not molasses, because no, that's not the same thing. It just isn't. So, I wanted to hate this, and I don't. Shucks. I'll tell you this. I'm going to wow the world. Are you ready? This is a better celebrity collaboration than Traveler with Buffalo Trace. And that's, Chris Stapleton? Is that his name? The country dude, Chris Stapleton? I don't do country music. So, I kind of have to try to remember. I think it's Chris Stapleton. Stapleton is his name, I think. But he's the guy with Traveler. He's the celebrity collab with Traveler. And I had some more of my Traveler the other day. And a year after opening it, or whatever it's been, I still don't like it. It's okay. This is better. The Bradshaw's better. Surprisingly enough, it's better. Now, we don't know the Traveler if that's Buffalo Trace distillate. We know it's a Buffalo Trace product, but we don't know where the distillate comes from. They don't tell us. This one we know it's Green River, and Green River knows their stuff. All right, one more. Can you explain tight and opened up? Still a mystery to me. Okay, so when you first pour it out, sometimes they call it a neck pour. Whiskey is bottled under pressure, and not a lot of pressure, just enough to get the air out, right? When you pull the cork off, you're going to start the process of giving it some air and letting it breathe a little bit like wine, right? Sometimes you swirl it around in the glass to get it to oxygenate a little bit. When you open it up, that's when you are allowing influences of air and other things into it, and it can enhance the flavor on a neck pour that has been bottled under pressure. Even if it's not a lot of pressure, it's enough to get the air out, like I said. So when you open it up, I'm trying to think of a good way to explain it. You just allow it to breathe a little bit, and water accelerates that process. So if I leave this alone and I don't touch this for 6 months, there's a good chance that the flavor I'm going to get out of this bottle may be similar to that which it is after I've added water to it, because the water hastens the opening of it. So it could be very, very similar, although the proof will stay higher, but it'll probably smooth out, give me more flavor. That's what happens over time. I experienced this probably the most dramatically with Uncle Nearest 1884. The longer it took me to drink that bottle, the better that bottle got. Oh my gosh, was that beautiful at the end. When I finally, my heart broke when I had to finish that bottle. I didn't have to finish that bottle, but I did finish that bottle. Boy, was that good. It just got better and better and better. So think of it as a spring on a bed, right? You buy a brand new mattress and that sucker's tight, and it's not really all that comfortable, but after you've laid on it for a decade or so, now it's just right. Now that's your mattress. That's your mattress. Nobody else is going to lay on that mattress the same way you are. Now it's probably not the same way to talk about whiskey. Can you tell I'm ready for bed? I think I'm ready for bed. It's been a day. Again, I have a lot of days. A lot of days. All right, so this is the last little sip with water, and then we'll add some ice to it. Butter. That's one of my favorite notes on a bourbon. I don't know why, but that last sip of that, I got a mouthful of butter. That's not all, but that's what I noticed right up. That's been the flavor that I've been trying to find. Been trying to find out what that was, and I wasn't able to articulate it. Now I've got it. Butter. I like this pour. This is a huge surprise to me. I didn't expect it at all. All right, so let's get out a ice sphere. Oh, I already used one. Here I am doing all that work and I didn't need to. All right. Where the heck is my glass? I got out of glass. Aw. Okay. We're going to do something different. Oh boy, is this going to be different. Must have left the glass upstairs. You sit there for a minute. I know it's not going to fit. Sean's watching. Hey, Sean. And Greg. Sean and Greg, welcome to the show. Glad you're here. We're going to do something unorthodox. Oh, I have a glass right there. I don't have to be this crazy. I didn't want to do that anyway. Let me get the other glass I see. Crossing, excuse me. This isn't the one I wanted, but it's the one I'm going to use. Whew! This was going to be really silly. I'm sure there are construction workers who have done this. I don't know any personally, so I'm not throwing anybody off the bus or under the bus or whatever. That could have been really bad. Now I'm going to get upstairs and that glass is going to be sitting there, and I picked out a gorgeous glass. Because today I needed a gorgeous glass. I deserved a gorgeous glass. I did. Today I thought, you know what? I'm going to go with a gorgeous glass. And I left it upstairs. So obviously the day says, you don't think you gonna get what you think you gonna get, do you? You think you deserve something? You don't deserve nothing. You know what I'm saying? What brand is your ice maker? I don't remember. And I don't think it's written on it anywhere. I think I got it off of Amazon. And then the place that I got it, they stopped making them, or they stopped selling them, and they went out of business, or who the heck knows what. And now there's another one out there. I can tell you that one that I'd like to get, I've got a really nice one from Wintersmiths. Yeah, there's no name on that. There's no nothing. Nothing. And they've got one like this that you can make 4 ice spheres at a time with. And I'm thinking that I might like to get that, although I don't mind making them just 2 at a time either. But you see the results. They're beautiful. This is my We the People glass, which is fitting for today too. That's got an election coming up. Good Lord. Have you ever seen a crazier time in politics? You know, Grandma and Grandpa will go back, I remember the election of and it was terrible, it was hostile, it was icky, it was blue. I don't think it compares. All right, so Greg is talking. I don't want to miss you. Can you delve into the ice making process a little? This is called directional freezing. It doesn't, so like when you put a regular ice cube in the freezer, it's going to melt from the outside in. This is directional, where it kind of pushes the air out as it goes, it's in a cooler, right? It's in an insulation thing, so it's gonna freeze very, very slow, and as it freezes from the inside out and from the upside down, and it pushes the air out, which is why it comes out as clear and is so gorgeous. It's a gorgeous ice sphere. That's how we say it. If you ever play bingo, which one of these days I'll actually do it, that's one of the squares on the bingo card, is gorgeous ice sphere. I will do that. Maybe that's coming in 2025. I just got to finish it up. All right, Greg said, I get to pick up my lottery bottle this weekend. Pretty excited. Which one did you win? I almost stopped paying attention to them because I never win. It's just very, very disappointing. So why try? It's kind of like, you know, I joined a club, a fraternal organization, and they always said, oh, the newbies always win, the newbies. And I played their games for, I don't know, a year. Never won once. So I said, you know what, I'm tired of sucking my money into this place. All the money's been, it's all for a good cause and everything, but when you don't win after they said you're going to win, I've stopped paying attention to the lotteries. I enter them, but I don't know what I'm entering a lot of the time. Phil Regal's watching. Hey, how are you, Phil? Gosh, it's a full crowd tonight. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. All right. So our We the People glass is containing the Bradshaw Bourbon, and we're going to find out what it's like on ice. Here we go. It's 103.9 proof, and it holds up. It's not hot anymore. The flavors are still good, nice and sweet. Really has got a nice flavor to it. Again, for a 2-year, I'm very surprised. And this actually presents quite nicely on ice. I don't like generally drinking bourbon on ice, but this is a little on that tilt towards refreshing. The flavors are really good on this. Nice and sweet. Really, you know, a lot of people don't drink bourbon and whiskey during the summer and during the hot months. This would be one that I think you could get away with doing that with, because it's just, again, it's a little on the sweeter side, not aged long enough to get that rye all spicy. It's actually a very nice pour. I'm pleasantly surprised. Very, very good. All right. Now, I want to tell you what's coming up next month. Or next week, sorry. Next week. I've been holding on to this bottle for a while. And I should have done it long ago because I hear nothing but great things about it. So shame on me for sitting on it. And that would be the Calumet 15. Now, early in the Bourbcasts, like maybe the second or third one, this is when I didn't have the technology, everything still looked terrible, everything still sounded terrible, it was awful. But back then, I did the Calumet 12 year. The Calumet 12, you see, these bottles aren't even made like this anymore. They don't look like this anymore. And as a matter of fact, I don't think they make the 12 year anymore. They might. I think they make the 10, the 14, and the 15. I think is what they do now. I don't think there is a 12 year. And this, at the time, I was still youthful in my bourbon journey. At the time, this was one of my favorite pours. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, my mind is blown. This is fantastic. Where have you been all my life? Marry me. Well, maybe not that last part. But that was the Calumet 12, and I have not opened that bottle back up because I've never opened this one at all. The 12s that I've had before were great, but you can't get it anymore. And you definitely can't get that bottle anymore. So I just don't, there's some bottles I don't want to open, and that's why I'm not going to open. But this one is the 15 year. So it could be more mellow. It could be more flavorful. It's not going to be worse, will it? I don't know. We're going to find out next week. We're going to get into the Calumet 15. I'm excited about this one. I've been wanting to try this for a while, and it's just one of those things that you look at the bottle and you go, do I really want to open it? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to open this. I want to enjoy it, and I want to do it with you next Thursday at 7 o'clock right here on Beautiful Bourbon. So, there you go. I hope you have a wonderful, what's left of your Thursday, a wonderful Friday, and a great weekend. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be. I think it's in Ohio. We've been suffering from droughts, and our area hasn't seen any more, but on one hand, I'd like to see some rain. On the other hand, I'm really happy not to see any rain. So get out and enjoy the last little stretches of summer while we have them. And don't forget to take a good drink along the way. I think that's important. So everybody that's new, Jane is watching. Jane, you're just getting at the very end when we're saying goodbye. Greg, yeah, I'm looking forward to this as well. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 2. At 2. I'm going to do my day drinking next week. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get into my day drinking. Next, let me make sure I even have that day. I don't even know if I have that day open. Cheers, everyone. Thanks you, Justin. That's really great. Am I going to be here next Thursday? Yeah, I'm going to be here next Thursday. We're good. We're good. I'm not the master of my schedule any longer. My schedule belongs to somebody else. And it ain't me. Next Thursday, we'll be back with the Calumet 15, and I hope between now and then that you have a couple of great pours of your own, and we will see you then. Thanks for watching.